Hey guys, Zangetsu 134 here, bringing you a My Hero Academia review, this time on Season 3, Episode 12. Once again, I apologize for it being kind of late in the week, but I wanted to have my Kamen Rider Episode 40 review up for a little bit, see if it'll get views, usual. In this episode, well, we see the beginning effects of the end of All Might's reign as the symbol of peace. This beginning with convincing the families of Class 1A to agree to let the students come back and move into the Hero or Height. I think it's Heights Alliance. I always forget what the name of the dorms are, but I think the Heights Alliance dorms or something like that. Basically, so the kids will have more protection. They will be moving into the dorms on campus so that they won't get attacked by the League of Villains as easily. This pretty much follows the manga pretty well, although they did, which is weird because I thought they did. They didn't show the end results of Ragdoll being kidnapped by All For One, and her reuniting with the Pussycats, despite the fact, and showing that she had lost her sensory quirk, so she's no longer able to be a hero. They might move that around, as they did at the very end, show All For One being moved into Tartarus, the series' maximum security prison for extreme villains. They also didn't show the part where they actually move him past Stain. They actually move him past Stain in the I think the very lowest level of Tartarus. Then of course referencing the actual level of the underworld where bad people were tortured. As Hades wasn't just hell like in Judeo-Christian mythology, how the underworld is legitimately just a place where bad people go. Tartarus in Greek mythology had many levels, and Tartarus was its lowest, which is where people that were evil or did terrible things in life were tortured. So that's kind of fitting for a prison for really evil supervillains. So yeah, sorry, I'm looking at something on my computer. So yeah, I rather liked the episode. It goes a lot into. It really only goes into. We only get to see a couple families and their reactions to it, but obviously everyone moves in. It would be silly to not have Class 1A all be in the same dorm together. This is more or less just a sort of linking episode where basically it's the very end of the more or less first arc of the series, where we see Midoriya's first semester of moving into, or of going to UA, and now this is going into the second semester of his first year. Yeah, no, all the stuff, all the first three seasons, and all I'm counting. 52 plus 13. Of the last 65, all 65 episodes of the first three seasons, of these three seasons are more or less in his first semester, and I think season 4 is still in his first semester. So much more happens, and we're only halfway through season 3. But yeah, a lot happens in his first semester. So mostly it's just, stuff showing, or like showing the beginnings of the next part of the series and how we establish the new status quo for UA and for the class as a whole. Probably the best parts of this episode are Bakugo and Midoriya's visits, as we see the beginnings of Bakugo realizing that Midoriya really did inherit All Might's power, as well as Inko finally being convinced to let Midoriya go back to UA, which is basically the most important part of this episode, that of Midoriya. But yeah, and that's mostly the main focus. We get a little bit of seeing like the current heads of the police force. That of like, okay, so I'm going off of stuff that I know from Kamen Rider Kuga, because they really went into how the police works in Kamen Rider Kuga. That of like the fact that like all of like the chiefs of police for like each district of Japan will come together and they will have meetings, because of the fact that, you know, Japan's a fairly small place. So, you know, they do work together because, you know, crimes will reach all of Japan if they're not careful. You know, only in this they're not fighting an ancient evil that they unlocked from an ancient archaeological dig, and their only hope is a man with a magic belt. Sorry, if you don't know what Kamen Rider Kuga is, watch Kamen Rider Kuga. It's really good. In fact, I might do a vlog talking about Kuga. It's one of my favorite Kamen Rider series. Anyway, we're not talking about Kuga. We're talking about My Hero Academia. So yeah, that was kind of cool, and it talks about how like they can't rely on All Might anymore, and they have to figure out how to restore the symbol of peace, even though he's no longer available. We also get some other small stuff. One of my favorite scenes from the manga being of Endeavor throwing a fit in his training room because of the fact that he became the symbol. He's the #1 hero now simply because All Might is no longer, which was actually kind of cool. It actually shows that it shows a bit of Endeavor, like Endeavor can't accept that he's the #1 just because All Might is no longer around. Which is probably one of my favorite moments, just because I liked seeing Endeavor like actually upset, just because he kind of deserved it a little bit, just for all the stuff he's done to Todoroki and his family. You see, we also I think this is the second time since like season 2. Like this is like the second time like we've actually seen Todoroki's sister in the series. I think she's a teacher in like an elementary school or a middle school, I think, from what I've read about her. Because she's of Todoroki's many siblings, she's the only sibling we see on a routine basis. Because I think Shoto is the youngest, so I think everyone else has moved out of the house, but more or less, I think his sister just takes care of Endeavor or something. It's never really made clear. Some siblings are like that. I don't know, especially because it seems like she's very under his thumb, so it might seem that like either that or he trusts her to take care of Todoroki when he's busy. But yeah, so we get that. We get the scene where All Might scolds Midoriya for not keeping his promise to not get himself hurt anymore, as well as promising Midoriya that he's finally going to train him right, and that both he knows that like he's upset with Midoriya for coming to Kamina Ward, but at the same time he's very proud of Midoriya for the fact that he managed to get everyone out of the situation without her injuring himself. And so like I love that scene just because it's All Might scolding Midoriya, but at the same time being so proud of him just because he managed to find a way to not hurt himself. As well as All Might just seeing that Midoriya clearly is trying to stop imitating him and is becoming his own person. Particularly the scene where Midoriya tells his mother that even regardless of if he goes to UA or not, he's still going to become a hero because he managed to save someone and become a hero to them with Koda. So he's already a hero. He just needs to learn to be better, and that's really my favorite part of it. The other, of course, being when he gets on his knees and begs Inko to let him train Midoriya, so he doesn't follow in his path, as well as telling her that basically he believes that Midoriya will become the next symbol of peace, which he is. And I know a lot of people, their favorite parts are the part where Bakugo's mom is introduced, Mitsuki Katsuki, or Katsuki Mitsuki as the Japanese pronunciation would be. We meet her, we meet his dad. I actually don't know his dad's name, but I actually find it funny that Bakugo's hair is spiked like his dad, but his color comes from his mom. Because it seems like he doesn't really care for his dad, but obviously he does care about his parents a lot. I know a lot of people really like the scene. I do like the scene. I think his mom is amazing just because she's not scared of him. She's not A, scared of him, or B, puts up with his crap. I thought that was really funny. I also like that she even points out that she knows that they kind of made mistakes raising him, but she was so proud of like what Aizawa said about him that her Bakugo like that everyone else probably believed that Bakugo would turn evil, but she knows better, and she was glad that someone could see that despite his shortcomings and anger and temper, he's trying very hard to be a hero. And of course the part where Bakugo kind of wants to know what Midoriya's relationship with Bakugo is, or with All Might is, even though All Might really can't say yet. I think it's a good moment, and it leads into the development of Bakugo into a slightly better person, which is what I want. I don't want Bakugo to completely change. I still want Bakugo to be like he is, but I want him to show that he's improving as a hero, to at least be a better person in certain ways. Also seeing how his relationship with Midoriya actually improves. But yeah, all in all, I think it's a good episode. I'm actually looking really forward to the next one where we actually see them going to the dorms and showing off all their rooms, because that's really one of my favorite That's one of my favorite chapters, just because really it's just a way to establish all of Class 1A, just because after like the first half of this season, well, not even the first half, the first quarter of the season, like they all kind of fall away, other than like Midoriya's team that rescues Bakugo and Bakugo himself. And this is a nice way to bring all the characters back and show them as living together, and just seeing their personalities again, and even then showing their personalities and showing a few of them sides we haven't seen yet. Particularly characters like Sato, Sero, Ojiro, guys that we haven't really seen much of in the story. When we get to see like a little bit of their personality via their rooms. Although, best room is Tokoyami's, even though everyone says it isn't. His room is awesome. But you'll see the rooms when we go into episode 13. I'm looking forward to that. I know it's a really dumb chapter, but it's one of my favorites just because I like it when we get little character moments like that with characters in anime, like where we actually learn about their personalities, like without them actually showing it off, by like showing like where they live, or like what they do in their off time when they're not being like a hero or something. But anyway, guys, I think that's gonna be it for this episode. Like I said, it's very good. It was kind of wondering what happened to some of the minor bits of story that they didn't show, but sometimes anime decides that they like to place stuff in different spots than previously, or than how it is in the manga. So I'm sure we'll see them again. I just really found it weird they didn't show Ragdoll, the Ragdoll portion, especially when they showed Ragdoll and Best Jeanist in one of the cutaway cards for when they do transitions from commercials. But otherwise, I think it was a good episode. I'm looking forward to seeing the next episode. I'm kind of curious to see if we're going to still have Ideals as the opening for this season, or if we're going to get another opening just because we're moving on to a different story arc and we're getting new characters soon. But anyway, guys, I'm Zangetsu 134, and I will catch you next time. Until then, take care.